Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I have in front of me my Graphic45 haul. This will be my last haul for this term, so super excited and grateful, and I want to say a big thank you to Graphic45 for allowing me the distinct honor and pleasure of designing for them and being a brand ambassador these last 2 years. So thank you to all of you as well who have checked out my videos on the Graphic45 channel. Really appreciate your support there. And so without further ado, let me show you some of the goodies that I picked to work with. So there are some new things in the shop, some new basic supplies, and this being one of them. It's the antique jewel set in ivory and champagne. These are large. I don't know if you can see the depth of it, but these are pretty thick. I mean, even the smallest one is pretty large. So if you're a card maker, I don't know that I would advise these larger ones on this end, because that will definitely put you over the 1/4 inch thickness limit before extra postage starts getting charged. But for 3D makes, like boxes and things like that, bags maybe, these would be great embellishments. So really fun. Then as well, before I get into the new collections, I also saw this new pre-made album. So this is what Graphic45 calls a 2-in-1 tunnel and pyramid chipboard 8x8 albums, and you get a bit of a 2-for-1 here. So it looks like there's apertures cut out of this one, which is your tunnel, and all of those pieces are still included, so you can build up a pyramid, which is this one. I'm curious, I've never tried it before, and it does say that everything is, pre-cut for you, scored hinges are included and everything, so I'm excited to kind of try this out. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't even seen the Graphic45 videos on how to put one of these together, so I will explore this, and it's kind of exciting to have a 2-for-1 here, so I think that's kind of cool, and plus it's a very unique look. So you can kind of, I'm really curious to see what other people have done with it, because I would be interested to see if they turn these into sort of picture frames, all of those apertures. So that's pretty neat, kind of a new style of pre-made album. And that one's going to be sturdy too, so if they are individual frame elements, you could easily take those and maybe incorporate it into something like a shadow box and have it be a bit of home decor as well. So I think that would be kind of neat. So I have some of the new, there are 2 new collections, and let's see, let's show them one at a time. If you've watched any of my haul videos, you know that I like to get the patterns and solids that go with a collection, and I also like to get either, if I think I'm gonna do larger scale projects or just a lot of projects, I'll get the 12x12 pattern papers and the 8x8, because sometimes it's nice to have options, because the images are the exact same, it's just either scaled up or scaled down to fit the size. So if you get the 12x12, for example, it's going to just take whatever you see here as the 8x8, and it's just going to stretch it to fill a 12x12 space. So it's not the case that, oh, they just take the 12x12 and then they chop it down to make it 8x8. It's the full design, and by stretching it to be larger, that means that the actual images will be larger as well, but they will kind of all be that same aspect ratio. And I'll flip through the actual pages, but what I wanted to show though, because I noticed this was something a little bit different with the new collections this time around, and that is there are rub-on transfers. So check that out. These look pretty cool. I see a lot of other crafters using rub-ons, and I have not tried it myself, so I definitely thought I would add this so that I could give it a try, because they look like they're a lot of fun. You get this handy dandy tool here, otherwise known as a I think a popsicle stick. So but that's basically just so that you can sort of scratch or transfer by rubbing this over the design onto your project. So I think that would be kind of cool. And then I did also get the assorted ephemera. This looks supersized to me, because I feel like normally the ephemera pack, in terms of the packaging, is smaller than this one. I mean, this has this is so full, and it has a lot of elements. They're nice large elements too. I could see these working really great on 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts, but also on small cards, even down to like a A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You know, you could easily use this sort of wreath as your focal image. So that's really lovely. So then let's do a little flip through of the papers. So this is the Grow with Love collection. And in the 8x8, you're going to get a total of 3 sheets of all 8 double-sided papers. So that's in total 24 sheets. And there are 8 unique patterns that are double-sided, with a different pattern on each side. So you're going to get 3 sheets that look identical to this. And that's the nice thing about 8x8, because in the 12x12, you get 2 sheets of each of the 8 double-sided designs. So you kind of get a little bit more of each pattern in terms of number of sheets. And there's always a cut apart page like this one, which is nice because you get, so if this is 8x8, across there is going to be 4 inches. And so that kind of gives you an idea for the scale of this. And then you've got these, which are split in half still. So you have some nice, these could easily be focal images on your card too. So really easy way to get a sentiment and a focal image. Oh, and the back. So what's nice about how these are designed is if you cut them apart, you can use them as just little tuck, journaling spots, for example, in your journals or your mini albums. Because if you look at these two, they're designed so that if you wanted, you could cut them apart. You could use these together too. You don't necessarily have to cut it apart. But if you look at the back, it works cut apart as well, because you've got the lines here for maybe a bit of journaling. So that's kind of nice that there's they've designed it so that it is double-sided, but you could certainly on your projects choose one side over the other and glue it into your project. But these work as cards as well, like individual cards. So it's the same up here. This you could keep together, or you could separate it and have 2 cards. And if I flip over, that's these 2 here, which you can see there's some spacing there to make it easy to cut down, and you would have, I'm imagining, an equal border on both sides. So really, really lovely that. Here's a nice print that has a lot of florals, garden supplies, and this is just a lovely kind of all over print. I'm loving the color palette here. It's very, very springtime, which is great, although today it just snowed, so I'm not sure that Mother Nature got the memo that we'd like some spring weather, please. So I love that there's some prints that are very colorful, very graphical, and then you do get a mix of some prints that are more your small repeat patterns. And so that way you could pair it with something like these two. I think would pair really well together, because this is very predominantly a solid pink, but there's touches of pink throughout this entire design here. And by, when you have both of these on the same project, they're not vying for attention, because they're different enough to where if your eyes tend to gravitate towards more solid color, then maybe your eyes go here first. If your eyes tend to gravitate towards more colorful images, then maybe your eyes goes here first. So whichever it is, it's going to naturally be attracted by one of these two patterns because they are coordinated but dissimilar enough to where they can let each other shine and still work really well together. So I love that, and that is the reason why I do tend to like getting the 12 by 12 patterns and solids too, because if you can't find what you need, or if you want to maximize, the other side, you can always find a pattern or solid from this paper pad, which is only in 12 by 12. And that way you can kind of coordinate and then stretch, your main papers a bit further if you'd like. Here's another color part sheet where you kind of have a little bit of that stamped edge border. Lots of sentiments that you could use here. These are really cute too. Little postage stamp like images. And then here's again is another, just a nice all over pattern. And what I love about the patterns and solids, and this is very in the same vein or style of the patterns and solids where it's monochromatic. And so it's a lot of tone on tone, and you could almost treat this as a solid yellow when you go to, create with it. But there's still some interest, some visual interest without it being too distracting or too busy or introducing, another color. So it's great that they've incorporated some of that into the paper pack itself. So if you don't, tend to get the patterns and solids, at least you'll have some to work with here. This one's gorgeous. I love the colors of this one. Really vibrant and bright. And here too, now this is a pattern from the patterns and solids. So if you can see here, so it was the last one. It's just that in that last one I showed, it was yellow. And here we have the stripes in pink. In your patterns and solids, it's in yellow. So you're not gonna, if you do get both, you're not gonna have repeats. So again, here was the exact same pattern. It's just that it's in a different colorway. So if you do get the supplemental 12 by 12 patterns and solids, you're not going to get an exact duplicate of this. That means that you're just going to have more and more options, right? And so here we have the stripes in green and yellow, and incorporated into the paper pack is a pink version. This is kind of cool. It's like almost, it's almost similar to, seed packets. And I don't think that's a mistake. Yeah, it says seeds. So yeah, really cute. Very, very cute. And that's lovely too. There's another, what I would consider a pattern in solid. And that's not a design that is part of this. So that's a unique one to the paper pack. And then here's your borders. So there's pretty much always a one sheet that has some really nice borders, some that are graphical, some that have sentiments or words in them, and they vary. So you've got some thin ones, you've got some taller ones as well, so really love that. And there's some repeats, I think. No, actually, I think it's all pretty unique. I think everything is unique. I was thinking these two might be repeated. Oh, they are repeated. It's just shifted a little bit. Yeah, I think these two are repeated. But for the most part, they're not exactly repeated because this has a pink and then this is green at the bottom. Oh, so that's really cool. And then here is another really lovely. I like having these kind of patterns and solids prints because they're so easy to craft with. And a lot of times, because it's just a pattern that's not graphical, you can use it. Sometimes I save those so that I can use up the ones that are very highly themed first, and that way I'm saving the patterns or the sheets that are less thematic, and that allows me to kind of use them for other projects. Because, you know, some of these, especially the patterns and solids, you know, you could use that for anything, really. It doesn't have to be a garden theme. These are such basic patterns and prints, so really, really love that. So that is the Grow with Love collection, which is new. Then this one I'm really excited about. This is the Beach is Calling, and look at those colors, really, really lovely. I love it. I love everything about this. So you've got a really nice sort of navy blue with a kind of a sandy color, and then a lighter blue. And so that's the patterns and solids, and I love when there's typography that's a part of that of the patterns and solid. So really, really great. And what you'll find is that what's at the top here shows you what's on the back of each of these. So what you'll find is that in total you're going to have 16 sheets. And you're going to get 2 of each design. So you're going to get 2 that have this, distressed striping with that on the back. And you're going to get 2 sheets that have this print to it with that same blue, kind of like a very dusty blue on the back. So then you're going to have in total, several sheets that have this more solid looking, but when they say solid, it's not 100% just solid. There's a little bit of a very light texture printed to it, which makes it really lovely. Still has a little bit of visual interest without adding too much. And so these 2 here have that lighter sort of off-white color on the back, and then these 2 have the sandy color behind, and then these 2 have your dark blue behind, almost like an indigo. It's very it's almost like a very deep, rich blue ink. So really, really lovely. I like that a lot of the prints actually have words or typography incorporated. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So that's really cool. I love that. And this is one that I think will be great for scrapbooking and larger projects. So I do have it in the 12x12 as well, but I'll do the flip through of the 8x8 since that's more easily seen on screen. And this collection too has a set of rub-on transfers, so that looks like a lot of fun. And it looks like you get 2 sheets and they are different designs. So that'll be fun to play with. And really, really cool. I might, this might be fun to just play with a little bit of art journaling with it, so I think that could be fun. And instead of opting for the ephemera pack, which it's what I normally get, but I thought getting the chipboard tags and frames would be good with this collection, because I could see this being really good for memory keeping, like beach vacations and whatnot. It would be great to have photos and use these as photo frames. So I thought that might be cool. My brother and his family, they do a summer beach vacation every year, and they invite, it's not just his immediate family, they invite everybody to come along with them, which I think is really fun, and that's become a really great tradition. So I thought of him when I saw this. I think it would be great to make him a little mini album so that he can maybe just pick a couple photos to put into it, just as something to commemorate those family vacations, especially as his oldest daughter, who was the first of her generation, she's gonna be off to college soon. So I thought maybe making her an album too, just so that if she gets homesick, she can kind of have a little mini album and have her family close by her. So here are the papers that are a part of The Beach is Calling. And this, you'll recognize the format, very similar. So you'll have this cut apart sheet that has different size cut aparts that you can use that are great for cards, and as well little tuck cards that you can, journaling cards for example, that you can put into your albums. So I think that's really cool. Designed to be used double-sided, but definitely you can just choose one or the other if you wanted to actually glue it into your project. Then we have this one, which is really cute, just a lot of little bathing suits. There's some typography in the back there if you could see it. It's really kind of neat. And yeah, I love this blue. It's very it's a very like intense and dark blue, which is great. The contrast is just really lovely in this. Definitely reminds me of the beach, and very striking. That blue really adds a punch to it. So that's really lovely. And oh, that's really nice. So this was one of the patterns in solids pattern, just not in this particular color. Oh, this is cute. This is not the border sheet though, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Because usually the border sheet has, maybe it is. Oh, I guess this is the border sheet. Oh, there are sentiments. Okay. There's a lot of repeat to this. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's really cool. I'm guessing that is one of the patterns in solids. Seashells. Oh my gosh, I think... Hey, do you guys see a face in that? Is it just me? I totally see a face. Here's a nice pattern, small repeat pattern. This one has larger cut aparts, which is also inclusive of some border strips too. So that's really cool. There's the back of that. This one too. So I don't think that last one is actually the border strip print. I think that was just like the all over pattern. This one. I think you could definitely cut it down and use it as borders, but I think it's designed to be used in full. But of course, you're the creator, so you can do anything you'd like, because you can see there's borders incorporated into this and into, so these two. So these two sheets are a combination of cut apart cards that you can use, as well as a mix of different borders. Thin borders, thicker borders, sentiment ones, graphical ones. So lots of different options there. Oh, that's lovely. And then here's this one. Really, really cool. I could totally see this being used for 4th of July too. Those little stars. So really great. So that is The Beach is Calling. Really fabulous, fun collection. And besides that, I did show some of the basics that I picked up, and I got some, like a little restock of some staples. But the thing that I wanted to show is that, if you haven't, tried out one of the album kits, I think a lot of them are back in stock now. I got an email announcement of that, and I picked up this one because it's one of my favorite of the recent collections. This is the Life is Abundant, and this project is a 2-in-1, so you have a mini album dual and album stand. So you have everything that you need in the kit components to actually create both projects. So you can kind of see there's like a little bit of a storage sort of stand there, and it gives you all of the directions. So you have, step-by-step written directions with the measurements and everything. And so check that out. So you're not going to be left on your own to kind of figure it out. So you've got that. And then you have the instructions for how to create the album as well. So it's really cool. These project sheets, by the way, you can download the project sheets for free. And just go to the Graphic45 site and click on the inspiration tab, and you can just download these instructions. And if you are interested in retheming it to use a different collection, then you can definitely do that. I mean, obviously this one was designed specifically for this paper collection, because it even suggests and tells you, which papers to use, because this one I really love, because the collection is like the full calendar year and great for projects like perpetual calendars and anything that scrapbooking and stuff where you want to just maybe reserve a little spot every month to just do a little bit of memory keeping each month. And I think it's cool that it can be used in so many different ways, because especially with scrapbooking, it might feel very intimidating to do memory keeping for an entire year. But if you only have one layout for each month, you just pick, a couple of photos that maybe capture what the highlights were of that month. And I feel like that makes it a little bit more manageable than feeling like memory keeping for an entire year. So that's the project kit. All of the components come in a project bag like this. So I won't open or go through all of this, because the collection has released and has been out there for a little while yet. This just seemed like a really cool project to do, so that's why I wanted to get the entire album kit. And one of the cool things, if you do get the kit, which you can subscribe to as well, so if you wanted, you could actually subscribe to get them monthly so that it automatically comes to you. But this is pretty cool. So I think this is a Wiles Supplies last sort of deal, where you can get this pin that is specific to the collection, to the kit, and it's really fun. Maybe something that you could collect, and so I thought that was kind of neat. And so that is what I have to share. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna craft with first. I want to make the little tag album, so I think I'm gonna do that first, and I think it would go. I have it in ivory, and it would go with both of these collections really well, because both of them have a lot of ivory in them, so I think it could work for both. So we'll see. But look for my videos. I mostly create videos for Graphic45 to post to their channel. And once my design team load lightens up a little, my plan is to have a lot more videos on my channel featuring Graphic45. I have planned in my mind. Right now it only lives in my mind. I want to do a sort of 101 on mini albums, breaking down different ways to make pages, different ways to do the spine and binding, and so that's a bit of a undertaking in terms of the scale of the series will be probably over multiple videos, so I just need to carve out some time to do that. But when that project gets underway, I do plan on using Graphic45 papers to showcase those projects or videos with. So stay tuned for that. I'm not gonna make any promises as to when, but I'm eager to bring that to you. So that's probably it for me. Thanks for joining this one, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.